Signore e signori, buonasera. Good evening everybody. Welcome to New York University, Casa Italiana Zerilli-marimò. My name is Stefano Albertini. I am the director of the Casa. It's a great pleasure to welcome back old friends and to welcome new ones. We have a packed evening. It's going to be a fun and packed evening of cinema, food, and talking about the future and sustainable future of our planet. And to do this, we are partnered with the region of Puglia. How many of you are Pugliesi in this room? Good, not everybody. I thought everybody would be Pugliese. How many of you have been to Puglia? Almost everybody. And I am not going to do another raise of hands to ask how many of you are going to go to Puglia, because I assume everybody's going to go to Puglia, right? At some point. Anch'io ci torno as soon as I can. Thank you again, all very much. Since we have a very packed evening, I'm going to start by just telling you that we have screenings, we have short speeches, and then at the end we have a reception. In the meantime, since we are in electoral season here in the US, you will also be asked to vote. And that's where this thing that you were given, this very nice pamphlet, also has a ballot. So while you watch the films, while you watch the short films, if you want to take notes on the back of your ballot, you can do that. I don't think anonymity is going to be a problem. And then at the end, you have to vote for just one film. And the result of the vote in this room is going to give the mention of honor to one of the participants. And then Flavia is going to explain to us all the rest of how this works. So be ready to vote, be ready to take notes of the films that you see, the ones you prefer. And at the end, we're going to celebrate. And now, without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you really the soul and the mind behind this event. Flavia Pankiewicz, professional journalist and writer, good old friend of the Casa, not old because she's old, because our friendship is old and established with Casa Italiana and with New York. For 9 years, she was the editor-in-chief of this beautiful magazine that really contributed to make Puglia known in New York City and beyond. So we were very happy to welcome the proposal that Flavia had that took shape during the summer, that involves 3 art academies in Italy, and she's going to tell us all about it. So without further ado, in order to tell us everything about this evening and the initiative behind it and the work that was behind putting together this evening, please welcome Flavia Pankiewicz.
I thank Stefano Albertini for this wonderful presentation. I didn't expect so much. So my warmest greetings to you all. I'm so happy to be here with you for this truly special evening. And thank you, first of all, to the host, Stefano Albertini, the excellent director of this little temple of Italian culture that is the Casa Italiana Zerilli-marimò, where I had the pleasure of bringing some events in the 90s. Well, I'm so glad to announce the greetings of the president of the Consiglio Regionale della Puglia, who is here in New York, Loredana Capone. She hopes to join us later tonight, but you know the distances in New York, so it's not certain, but she'll try at least. We also expect to join us Claudio Pagliara, the director of the RAI Correspondence Office for the United States. And thank you all for being here. There are so many friends here tonight. I would love to greet you one by one. Food is an indispensable element in everyone's life. Food is a universal experience. Access to food and water is not guaranteed to all human beings in the same way. Our food choice, what we choose to eat or not to eat, today we know greatly affects the planet. And then the Mediterranean diet. The concept of the Mediterranean diet was actually created by an American, Ansel Keys. He did so much to develop studies about this subject, He died in 2004, and few years later, in 2010, the Mediterranean diet was recognized by UNESCO as an intangible heritage of humanity. And today we know that it is one of the healthiest types of food in the world. And then Italian foods, they are among the most appreciated in the world. Well, there are 3 people in the room tonight, 3 brilliant entrepreneurs who come from different backgrounds. I'm talking about Luigi Capone, Stefano Prior, and Sabbia Auriti, who have been looking for a way to bring these issues to the attention of young people who wanted to launch a creative challenge in the field of art, a challenge for young artists, for students of academies of fine arts, and that's how we came up with Food and Future. They are the promoters of the contest. We asked Antonella Marino to take care of the artistic aspect of the contest and the relationship within the 3 academies that are the contestants this year, Bari, Lecce and Naples. And we will give her the floor shortly for the presentation of the videos in the competition. Antonella Marino is a journalist and art critic, holds the chair of Contemporary Art History at the Academy of Fine Arts in Bari. She is a correspondent for the daily newspaper La Repubblica Bari and writes for the national contemporary art magazines Flash Art and Segno. She is the author of numerous critical essays and curator of numerous exhibitions for public and private institutions. To judge the videos, in addition to the people who launched the project, we called 3 influential personalities from the world of New York culture, whom we sincerely thank for agreeing to be part of our jury. They are our jury chair, Jacqueline Greaves, Antonio Pio Saracino, and Angelo Filomeno. Angelo Filomeno is an established artist. His beautiful embroidered silks are famous. He could not be with us tonight, he's still in Italy, but he participated in the jury's work. We previewed the videos and met telematically. Antonio Pio Saracino is an accomplished architect, designer, and artist. Famous are his permanent installation, The Guardians, Hero and Superhero, in Bryant Park. If you have not seen them, go see them. Unfortunately, he can't be here tonight. He just came back from Mexico with some health problems, and he apologizes. Jacqueline Greaves, Jamaican by birth, married to Antonio Monda, an Italian from the South, she specifies. She is a resident of New York City in a home characterized by constant interaction between different culinary cultures. Jacqueline is strongly influenced by the Jamaican food tradition. Together with her husband, she has made her table a place for conversations and dishes that nourish both body and soul. She contributes to the literary festival Le Conversazioni, now in its 19th year with events in Capri, New York, Rome, Naples, Paris, Washington, Venice, and Bogota. She has written about food for many magazines and publications. And I thank Jacqueline for being here. Thanks again to everyone who contributed for this event. Special thanks to Julian Sachs, monstrous efficiency, really. To the students at NYU who are giving us a big hand in handling the voting tonight. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thanks to Chiara Basso, to Costa Caustic, to Antonio De Gabriele, and to Mediterraneo Foods. Special thanks to the sponsors, Le Stanzie, I Due Trappeti, Casamia Group Otorn, Confronti USA Italia, Caffè Siag, Pinza Italiana, l'Artigiano Gelateria, Caseificio La Bufalat, Le Papù, Na Slice, Pensiero Mediterraneo, Altro Import, il Consorzio del Prosciutto di Parma, Golfera USA. And then now I pass the floor to Sabbia Auriti. Thank you all. Have a great evening and enjoy the viewing.
Buonasera. My name is Sabbia Auriti, and I am the president, the owner of Mediterraneo Foods. Thank you, Director Albertini, always for your great hospitality. Thank you, my friends from Italy. And tonight is going to be very special. My question to you, can art be the food of spirit and mind? So if it's so, tonight we're going to address that. Also, those of us who come from the Italian culture, the food is our primary form of cultural expression. And we express that in many different ways, with arts, as you're going to see tonight, the creativity of the students, but also we do it every day by bringing from Italy the best products, I like to think, that there are. We fight over mozzarella, we look for the best stracchino, but most of all, we want to bring you what we think is not only the past, but many times is the future of the food, because many people don't know what is the real Italian food. So tonight, we're going to have the students that I hope you will enjoy their own creative stimulus, what they did. But remember, there's only one one important aspect of that. It's the past. In other words, not the past as stale, redundant. The past as a base. The past has the roots for which the future will be sort of explained, presented. So tonight, we look at un binomio. In other words, we have a world that is parallel. For Mediterranean food, I like to think that while I feed people, I also bring them some culture. And we're not the only one to think outside the box. For example, tonight you're going to taste a wonderful gelato made in Italy, imported from Italy, but the company has made an agreement with Fiat. Fiat is the sponsor, the partner of L'Artigiano. So we must think out of the box. Mediterranean food did it with the arts. Fiat is doing it with the gelato. What does it tell you? That in order to reach the young people, in order to reach the future, we must have them appreciate the past, taste the past, but also work with us so that we can tweak it, we can be innovative, but at the same time never lose the sight that going forward, we must bring with us what belongs to our culture. This is why we fight and we argue whether it's gravy or ragu. Okay. Also, we, for example, we're still debating whether it's good to drink cappuccino after dinner. It's a big issue. Or, for example, who is Alfredo, with all due respect to the fettuccine. These are issues for us as important, but most of all, by discussing, presenting it, talk about it, we create a forum so that the young people moving forward appreciate what we had, bring the innovation, and in their own way, we keep our culture alive. So enjoy tonight, and most of all, be ready for some great, great food from Italy. Thank you.
Before we call to the stage Antonella and Marino, I would like to recognize the arrival of the Deputy Consul General of Italy in New York, Cesare Bieller, a really good friend of Casa Italiana, but especially a very, very good friend of culture. And that is not a given not even in his line of work. Thank you, Cesare, for all you do for culture. And now Antonella Marino is going to introduce to us to the first group of videos, please.
Good evening. Sorry for my bad pronounce. I have also a sore throat. Anyway, we will finally have the opportunity to view the videos of the 12 young finalist artists, whom I will introduce in 3 groups corresponding to the 3 academies involved in the project. In general, I would like to emphasize that the participants were given the freedom to approach the themes of the competition from different perspectives, and as you will see, the proposals are quite different. From a linguistic standpoint, the works range from a more documentary style approach to a metaphorical and poetic one, from a cinematic tone to a sensibility more aligned with visual arts or animation techniques. Thematically, however, some constants emerge. The first one is an approach to food as a unifying identity element and a source of emotional connection. Another theme is the contrast between different lifestyles, between a fast-paced, wasteful standardization and a slow food model, which implies a different perception of time and an emphasis on care and respect for the environment. In some cases, the awful and constructive aspects of change give way more clearly to the denunciation of injustices and environmental degradation. Now, let's watch the first 4 videos from the Academy of Fine Arts of Bari. The first, Foodage by Andrea Defronzo, focuses on the iconic image of a table set for a meal, where an elderly man sits next to a young man and a child. These 3 generations are, in fact, projections of different stages of the same life, where the emotional bond with food poetically activates memories. The second video, Who Are You in Bed With, by Francesco Giannuzzi, is a sort of dream nightmare marked by violent clashes between throwaway fast food culture and more sustainable choices. The third, Un chilo di pane by Alessandro Rella, centers on the famous Apulian Altamura bread, known worldwide, and contrasts the quality and longevity of the product born from ancient wisdom with the perishability of industrial bread, highlighting the widespread issue of food waste. The fourth, Piatto a Chilometro Zero by Michela Rondinone, is a complex work as it starts with the creation of plastiline figures that are then animated in slow motion. Within a plate, they convey a dual message: the encouragement to favor the consumption of locally sourced food and the importance of spreading the Mediterranean diet around the world. Good vision.
È l'attesa la chiave di tutto. C'è una terra che dorme, una pianta che riposa, un seme che attende. Questo seme raccolto è in grado di donare cibo. Questa terra, questo grano, quest'acqua pare abbiano delle proprietà uniche. Il pane è la nostra specialità. hanno provato a fare lo stesso pane, con le stesse dosi e gli stessi ingredienti, in altre città, ma non riesce come riesce qua. Il pane è soggetto a 1 miliardo di fattori, ha pochissimi ingredienti che esigono tanta esperienza. Non è facile fare il pane. Io sono cresciuto che il pane lo faceva mia madre e sono abituato che dopo una settimana il pane è ancora buono. Questo pane è un tramite tra natura e umanità, salute e sapori, culture e sostenibilità ambientale. Questo pane ha una sazietà diversa.
Now let's take a look at the proposal from the 4 students of the Academy of Fine Arts of Lecce. It seems to me that they share an emotional tone characterized by a sense of cultural belonging, conveyed through food and a deep connection with convivial traditions that take on a strong community connotation. With a lighter touch, in the first video, Like a Pizza, Marco Antonico presents a funny animation where the desires of a child are embodied by the ultimate symbol of Italian cuisine, pizza. For Giulia Carluccio, the author of the second video, pasta is a feeling, and this title alone serves as a synopsis. Federica Centonze, in Lievitazione e il respiro della terra, Leavening the Breath of the Earth, links the process of bread leavening with cosmic rhythms, which becomes a metaphor for the interconnection between man and nature. She thus conveys a message of hope, which Daniele D'Amato, Margherita Pesce, in Bugonia, interpreted in an almost mythological way, encapsulating the possibilities of symbolic regeneration in the life that sprouts from a plant seed.
Blah, 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 blah.
L'Italia, quando si tratta di cibo, ha un sacco di tradizioni. La passata di pomodoro fatta a casa con i nonni e gli zii. mangiare schiacciate seduti sui marciapiedi, assaggiare le cose al bancone prima di comprarle, spaccare il supplì in due per vedere se fila, prendere la pizza da sporto sulla strada per andare al lavoro. Il pane a tavola non può mai mancare e la focaccia, olio e sale è un'istituzione. E sono tutte tradizioni che prendiamo molto sul serio, perché per noi il cibo è molto più di quello che mangiamo. È tradizione, cultura, condivisione, una storia che guarda al futuro. E poi c'è la pasta, che più che essere una tradizione è un sentimento. Ma che dico, la pasta è 1.000.000 di sentimenti. È calore, stupore, famiglia, conoscenza, ricerca, amore, cura. Insegna l'attesa e il valore del tempo. La vita è una combinazione di pasta e magia, diceva Federico Fellini. E io come posso dargli torto? Andando di città in città, che sia il raviolo torinese, le tagliatelle o i tortelli di Bologna, il rigatone alla gricia di Roma, la pasta rimane una coccola costante, un sogno ad occhi aperti fatto di pochi elementi genuini della nostra terra, capaci di farti sentire amato in ogni luogo. La pasta è un sentimento, fresco, profondo, colorato, è il nostro modo di dimostrare amore, è quello per sentirci amati.
In un mondo sospeso tra passato e futuro, la lievitazione diventa il respiro della terra, un atto di equilibrio e crescita che ci invita a riscoprire il valore della sostenibilità. Ogni bolla d'aria che si forma è un messaggio di armonia tra uomo e natura, un richiamo alla responsabilità di usare con saggezza le risorse del nostro pianeta. Mentre il pane si alza lentamente, si intrecciano riflessioni sulla distribuzione equa delle risorse, su come sovrabbondanza coesista con la fame e su un futuro in cui ogni boccone è condiviso con giustizia. La narrazione visiva ci guida attraverso la bellezza della dieta mediterranea, l'arte di vivere sano e la centralità del cibo italiano, dove tradizione e innovazione si fondono in un paradiso del gusto. In ogni inquadratura il cibo non è solo nutrimento, ma è anche un atto di amore per la terra. La lievitazione diventa simbolo di speranza, un invito a tornare alle origini, dove la semplicità e il rispetto per la natura sono le fondamenta di un futuro più luminoso per tutti. La lievitazione è più di un processo fisico, simboleggia la vita stessa, una trasformazione che richiede equilibrio tra ciò che prendiamo dalla terra e ciò che restituiamo. In una società che premia la velocità, la lievitazione ci insegna l'importanza di rispettare i tempi naturali e di lavorare con la terra, non contro di essa. Ogni bolla d'aria che si forma è una testimonianza della vita che si sviluppa nelle condizioni più semplici, ricordandoci che i grandi cambiamenti iniziano con piccoli passi. Il pane, simbolo di condivisione e comunità, ci ricorda che la giustizia sociale e la distribuzione equa delle risorse sono essenziali. La dieta mediterranea, con il pane al centro, rappresenta un equilibrio tra semplicità e abbondanza, un modello di sostenibilità che rispetta il pianeta. Mentre il pane cresce, ci guida attraverso campi e tradizioni italiane, mostrando come il cibo unisca passato e futuro. Alla fine la lievitazione diventa un simbolo di speranza. Sta a noi alimentare e condividere questa crescita, creando un futuro più luminoso e sostenibile per tutti.
we now move on to the last group of videos from the Academy of Fine Arts of Naples, where a critical attitude predominates with bitter undertones. In the first video, Margherita, Matteo Cesare highlights hunger and social inequality, even in access to food, through the scene of a wealthy couple eating a pizza while a homeless person devours its leftovers. In the second video, Just Eat and Relax, Fausto Cianciullo contrasts the alienation of a technological-driven present with the values of a simple life in harmony with nature. The third video, Chomp, is a sophisticated animation created by a team led by Luigi D'Acunzo. It symbolizes the short-sighted anthropocentric greed through the destructive action of small worms devouring an apple that is their home. Lastly, the most striking video, due to its raw footage of factory farms and landfills in poor countries sourced from YouTube, is Pierluigi Loffredo's intense video montage, My Feed, which urges us to reflect on the causes of global imbalances, using the famous speech by Charlie Chaplin from the movie The Great Dictator for support. So let's see the last videos and then we'll decide the winners.
Bello, non sa così, facci un sorriso.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people, and so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
As we said before, we are in an electoral season. Claudio Pagliara and his troop here are barely surviving the electoral campaign. He's the head of the correspondence for Rai Telegiornali, the Italian National News Service. So it's now your turn to vote, to express your vote. So you've received the ballot. Remember, you can vote for only one of these short films. So put an X or a check mark next to the film that you preferred. And in a minute or two, our students are going to pass by and collect your ballots. Share your pencils. And while we compete, when you're done with voting, wave your hand, and our students are going to pass by and take your ballots. Caterina, passa pure. Vieni, vieni. Thank you. Grazie, grazie. And while you complete your voting operations, I would like to call to the stage Jackie Monda. Flavia Pankiewicz has already introduced her officially. I just want to remind you that if those of you who are interested in food and art, and I assume that if you are here, you're interested in both, follow Jackie's on Instagram, Jackie Food for Thought, right? For talk, not thought. Jackie Food for Talk on Instagram. And Jackie has an incredible wealth of beautiful images, both of things that she cooks or that she eats in restaurants and in the homes of her friends and her own home, the best kitchen in New York City, but also of works of art. She has a keen eye in choosing artworks, paintings, sculptures, photographs of food. So if you're interested in that, you're going to find an incredible wealth of images in Jackie's Instagram account, Jackie Food for Talk. And without further ado, I would like to invite to the stage my dear friend, Jacqueline Greaves. Thank you.
Good evening. It's a great pleasure and honor to be invited to be the first president of the jury for food for the future, food and future. And I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening. It's unfortunately our video artists aren't with us. I'm sorry, because I think that for them it would have been so wonderful to see all of you here watching their films on the big screen. I saw them on my computer, and I have to say that tonight I was like, wow, I missed that. You know, there were things that I missed on the computer, and it was just wonderful, and I think that they would have been so happy, and this already is a great reward. This is already a prize for them. So I hope that this will be something that you'll all come back to next year, because I want this to be next year again, and every year after that. This should be something that where we're bringing the joy and the traditions of Italy, Italian food, but also Italian talent, Italian artistic video talent. I think we have so many talented young people in Italy, and we need to celebrate them as well. So I just wanted to say that my role tonight, first I'm going to be announcing the 3 films that are jury. I'm the only one who's in the food world. Everybody else was like art historians, and I came from the point of food. But I think that we did a really good job, and they did an incredible job, you know, showing their strengths in storytelling, in evoking emotions like anger, empathy, joy, love, and pride. I think there was a lot of pride in what they were doing in their messages to us. And they brought to the forefront the themes of this contest, and I'm going to remind you: sustainability, equal distribution of food resources, and awareness of the Mediterranean diet and the centrality of Italian food. So I'm going to tell you the 3 videos right now that we chose to receive honorable mention. The first was My Feed by Pierluigi Loffredo from Naples. Do you like that? I'm glad, yeah. He gives a very powerful and a very cinematographic piece calling for action against food waste, the cruelty in some parts of the food industry, and the vast poverty faced by many that leads to the idea of a very bleak future if action is not taken. His definite strengths are in a global message regarding sustainability and the equal distribution of food resources, and his very evident talent in video editing. He used everything from YouTube, and I think that's amazing. Then our second is Margherita by Matteo Cesare from Naples. And he cleverly uses multiple mediums to reveal his message of unequal distribution of food resources. And he uses the pizza. And he uses not just pizza, but a pizza margherita. And I don't know if you all remember this, but that was created in 1889 for the visit of Queen Margherita to Naples for the first time. So, I mean, you know, it comes into play, the idea of distribution equal. So now everybody eats pizza, but pizza was originally created for the nobility. So let's remember that when we eat our slice of pizza. And so, but he's very representative. The food is very representative of Naples, as well as the panoramic view of the beach. I think that was really beautiful. The third one, and our last one that gets honorable mention, besides the one that you're voting for, is La Pasta è un sentimento. Pasta is a feeling, by Giulia Carluccio from Lecce. And this is a film that I found so beautiful. It's made with a lot of love and obvious joy in the food traditions in Italy. She reflects on the food elements that make Italian food prized, not just in Italy, but throughout the world. And it honors very much the Italian food traditions. So I look forward to, finding out what your final choice is for a special mention, a special award. And thank you very much for being with us this evening. Good night. We're ready.
Great timing, Jackie. So we have your votes already tallied and counted. No electronic voting. Good old-fashioned. Put a pencil to the paper. They're all there for you to see if you don't trust us, but I bet you do. So The winner of the honorable mention of the popular jury of Casa Italiana Zerilli-Marimò decrees that the winner is Foodage, the first film we saw by Andrea Defronzo. It's one of the few times that the great electors and the popular vote coincide. Is that right, Judge? In our small... Yeah, perfetto. So you announced the 3 mentions of the jury. Okay. And now I would like to call, I'm sorry, to the podium Jackie Monda to tell us who the winner is of the technical jury.
Well, that was a surprise. So I will tell you that the technical jury selected the marvelously developed film Foodage by Andrea Defronzo from Bari to be the first recipient of the Food and Future Prize. His storytelling and use of the camera reveal his talents and his ability to create empathy and a vision of the future. He honors the past and the present, the family, Italian food traditions, the Mediterranean diet, the culture of the table, the generations, and the continuity of life from grandparents, grandchild, young man, mature man, who all share the love of the table, Italian, and the visuals of the table with the splendor of the repasts before us, the octopus, the eggplant, the bread, the simple pasta orecchiette in tomato sauce, the tomatoes that are again seen with the grandmother with the child as they make the pasta together, the child being led through the market from the fish stalls to the fruit and vegetable stalls to learn about the food that he will eat. It evokes joy and love in its simplicity and in the innocence of the laughing child. As one of our jurors said, il futuro non può prescindere dal passato. The future cannot exist without the past. I'd like to express my congratulations to Andrea Defronzo from l'Accademia di Belle Arti di Bari, and thank you very much.
So now we watch the winner again. As you know, it's a couple of minutes, and then finally it's time to eat, because I don't think we can send you home without trying some wonderful Italian food. Thank you.
Prego.